Hey, hi, hello everybody. Welcome back to my video. You guys probably just watched part 1 of advocating for yourselves. And for those of you who watched that video and are dealing with chronic illnesses, you definitely understand where I'm coming from when I talk about advocating for yourself as far as doctors and physicians. So that was all my first video, and this second video is based on advocating for yourselves as far as friends, family members, relationships, and also just advocating for yourselves and feeling like you can stand up for yourself because you have the respect for your own body. Learning to say yes when appropriate and learning when to say no. So that is what this video is about, and I'm going to just dive right in. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did not watch my first video, definitely suggest watching it, because in any form or fashion in your life, you may have to go through what I've gone through or many other people have gone through as far as seeing a doctor that does not agree with you or does not really put the effort in as much as they should have. So definitely go take a look at that. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's jump right into this video. Let's get started. Okay guys, now that we've discussed doctors and nurses, we are going to branch over to relationships and how advocating for yourself does not just mean having a physician that's on your side. It is about having a whole support system that is by your side no matter what. Friends, family, relationships, acquaintances, whoever it is that is in your life, you need to make sure that you are standing up for yourself and making sure that you are receiving the best possible love and support from them that they can give. What this looks like is finding people that are going to have your back no matter what. A person who is going to support you and whatever it is that you need, even if they don't agree. There are a lot of people in my life that do not agree with the treatment plans that I've gone through, with my physical pain or my mental struggles. Family members even tell me that I'm doing something wrong, or I shouldn't be taking this medication, or I shouldn't be doing this treatment. And that is not okay. If somebody is giving you an opinion that, one, is unsolicited, and two, making you feel bad about the choice that is already difficult in your life, they should not be close enough to feel like they can give an opinion. I'm not saying you need to cut every single person out. For example, when I've had a family member tell me that you should not be taking any of these medications and this is bad for this and this and this, and just going on and telling me all of the bad things about what I'm doing that is actually helping me. It's not my place to say, you know what, bye, I don't want to talk to you anymore, because that's not what I want, because they're still family and I love them. But it is my job to say, you know what, I appreciate your input, but I just don't really want to talk about this anymore with you. And that's it. End of discussion. I've had to do that a lot of times, and I've even stopped talking to certain people about my prognosis and what's going on in my life, and I just kind of keep it sea level and don't get super deep about things. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean you don't love that person. It doesn't mean that you don't want to talk to them about what's going on. It just means that you're already going through a hard time and you definitely don't want another person's opinion in there. Relationships are about making compromises, but compromises do not mean changing your life completely or not doing something that you really love to do, or maybe doing something that you really don't like to do. It doesn't mean that you have to completely transform yourself. Compromising is exactly that. Compromising. It means figuring out what is okay with you, what is okay with me, how can we meet in the middle to make this better. This is important for any kind of relationship, making sure you are listening to somebody's love language. This is very, very important. And to those of you who have not read the Love Language book, I highly suggest it. It is amazing. But every single person has a love language. Some people prefer gifts. Some people prefer words of affirmation. Another person can prefer physical touch. There's different forms of love that affect people differently, and that is the type of love that they prefer. This is not just with intimate relationships, guys. This is with every single relationship you have in your life. Making sure that you are giving the type of love to a person, not that you want, but the type of love that they need. Making sure you are giving that to somebody, because when you give them what they need, there will be so much less trouble in the first place. And two, you will be able to speak and communicate more clearly because they are feeling loved and feeling affection from you. Making sure you are giving somebody the love that they need and you are getting the love that you need in return. In order to do that, you need to be clear about what your love language is. You can't just assume somebody's going to know what you want. If somebody keeps giving you gifts and gifts and gifts and thinking that you love that, and maybe that's not your love language, and all you really want is words of affirmation and somebody to tell you, hey, you did so much work today, you're amazing, or hey, I know you had a really tough day, but you kicked ass and you look beautiful, whatever it is. If that is not your love language, you need to be clear about that. You need to not assume that somebody else is going to know what you want and what you need. That is the first thing. Do not assume. But making sure that you are advocating, like this video is about, what you need. Saying, hey, I'm sorry, I appreciate all the gifts, I love it so much, I appreciate you, but some words that are going to make my day, I just need some upbeat, kind of positive words in my life. And they're going to be like, oh, okay. And then they know that maybe this is what they like, but this is what you need. And you can learn to differentiate the two. In that way, you are advocating for, one, what you need from that person so they can give it to you, and two, sticking up for yourself and making sure that you are not just settling. Because I've been in plenty of relationships where I have settled because I didn't want to be rude or I didn't want to make them feel like they weren't doing enough. Because it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you don't love them and love the gifts or whatever it is that they're doing for you. It just means that you just need something different. Every person needs something different. Every person receives love in a different way, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is my first step, is definitely making sure you know your love language and portraying that to everybody in your life, making sure that other people know that they are giving you what you need. And two, advocating when they are not. When you have told somebody what you like or you don't like or something you are not okay with and they continue to do it, or you have asked someone to do something or to not do something and then they continue to do it, knowing how it makes you feel, that is not okay. Learning to stand up and advocate for yourself and say, hey, I've already told you this, this is how I feel, and it's really upsetting me, it's really hurting my feelings, this is affecting me in these ways, and then listing all the ways that it is bugging you or hurting you or making you angry, whatever it is that's going on, because this can happen in so many different scenarios, guys. I can't just think of one. But that is definitely something that I've had to do multiple times, like I said, with doctors, with friends, boyfriends, family members, whatever it is, making sure that you are saying, I'm not okay with this, and I'm not going to put up with it. And knowing your worth, guys. It all comes back to knowing your worth and knowing how important that you are. And if your happiness is not your most important priority, you need to set everything straight. You need to go back and think about, what do I want for myself? What goals do I have? And is this person or thing that I'm doing supporting me? Is this benefiting me to where I want to go someday? And if it's not, you need to stand up and say something. If it is not fulfilling a need or a desire in you that is making you happy, you definitely do not need that in your life. Not just physical aspects, because guys, I'm telling you this right now, if somebody is doing something to you that you are not okay with, you need to tell them no. You need to tell them stop and you need to leave. So that is not even what this video is about. I'm just saying this, guys. Quick note. Do not let somebody treat you or touch you or do anything to you that you are not comfortable with, ever. Apart from that, making sure you are not letting yourself be in a position where you are surrounded by people who are not going to speak up for you or support you or have your back. This can be a friend who may not like something that you're doing or be like, hey, I don't really like that you're dating that guy. I'm not a huge fan of him, but I love you and he makes you happy, so I'm going to be your support system on that. That is what advocating looks like. That is what a good support system looks like. This is what we all need in our lives. We all need somebody who is going to care for you and have your back, but make sure that they are being respectful as well. So this is a topic that I feel like is kind of talked about, but more in the physical aspect of rape and harassment and stuff like that. But that is not what this video is about. This video is just about simply speaking up for yourself and making sure that you are listening to your own soul, listening to what you need and what kind of, again, love language that you need from that person. Every person is different. What you want from a person you're dating is definitely not what you want from your mom or your dad. So everything is different. Every relationship is different. But make sure you are speaking up for what it is that you want, what it is that you need, and things that are going to help you in the long run. So this is definitely a topic that needs to be talked about so much more than it is, instead of just when it comes up when it is rape or assault or harassment. It needs to be an everyday topic, guys. We need to be making sure that our lives are filled with people who love us and support us, even if they do not agree with our decisions, even if you don't agree with somebody's beliefs. Making sure you're being kind and respectful and knowing that they are doing that in return. And if they're not, saying something about it and not being scared to say something. Not being scared to say, I do not like the way that you treat me, I don't like the words that you said, or I don't like the way that you made me feel. And not assuming that everyone is going to understand what that is either. Don't just assume that everybody is going to know what is wrong with you. If you're upset because he flaked on you, don't just assume that they're going to know you're upset because what happened. You need to sit down and be an adult and talk and say, this is how I felt, this is how you made me feel, and I didn't feel too good. So next time, can you not do that? Or whatever it is. Just portray what it is that you need, because if you don't speak, you can't just assume somebody's going to know. So guys, this is a topic that is super important, and I really want you guys to think about this in every aspect of your life. I want you to sit down and think about, how is this affecting me in my life, and is this for the best? Because if something is not for the best and it is not there to support you and get you where you need to be, you just need to make some changes so that way things do kind of conspire and fit to your life. Because when things are meant to be and you have a good support system, starting with yourself, everything will fall in line. I find that the biggest thing that people struggle with is saying no. Saying no to physical things, yes, but saying no to plans. You compromising yourself and your energy and your effort and your mood just to go do this thing for somebody else to be nice. I understand why you want to, but in the end, you are just going to end up being hateful or upset or bitter that you agreed to it in the first place, or saying, yeah, I'll go to your party, that sounds fine, and when you really don't want to go, you're not speaking up for yourself. You're not advocating for yourself in your own time. Make sure that you are only doing what your plate can handle. Make sure that you are filling up your time with people and things that make you happy and are leading you to the goals that you want in your life. Because if you are just settling and saying yes, 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 yes to every single person, you are saying yes to them and no to yourself. Make sure that when somebody asks you something, if you are even a little bit like, I don't know, say no. There's nothing wrong with saying no, and if that person in your life really loves and cares about you and you say no, sorry, they're not going to be upset with you. They're going to understand that you're busy and that you have other things going on, and it's okay. So do not think that somebody's going to hate you because you say no, because you are really saying yes to yourself. That is you listening to your body, and that is you making time for yourself and your own happiness. So please, guys, advocate for yourselves in every form possible. Whether that is a doctor or a nurse or a practitioner or a therapist or a friend, family member, acquaintance, a person you're in a relationship with, or lastly, yourself. You cannot expect the world to conspire with you and agree to be on your side and advocate for you if you are not standing up for yourself. If you are doing little things every day that are saying yes to other people, to things that you don't want to do, or booking yourself so stressed out all the time that you can't even function, or you are so stressed and upset and you have so much going on, but you don't have time for yourself because you're too busy focusing on other people, you are not advocating for yourself. You are not being your own support system. And like I said in the beginning of this video, if you are not your own biggest fan, you need to rethink your priorities. You need to be your biggest fan. You need to love yourself, and I mean fully, wholeheartedly love yourself and respect yourself enough to know that if I do this, this is probably going to tap me out and I'm going to feel like crap later for it. Or if I let this doctor tell me that I have to do this treatment, I'm going to be very bitter and angry about it, or I'm going to end up paying for it in side effects. or I'm in this fight with this family member because they don't agree with what I'm doing. If you just let all this stuff happen, you're going to get so many consequences later on instead of just listening to yourself like you should have in the first place. When you set your standards super high, you will find people that are willing to work to reach those standards. You will find people that don't want to work. You will find people that don't really care. And then you'll find people that just come out and just like come up every single day and just work super duper hard to meet your expectations and even go further than your expectations. And you will surround yourself with people that love you and care about you. And as you are surrounded by people that want nothing but the best for you, it will also be easier for you to continuously advocate for yourself and make sure that your schedule is filled with only positive things and positive people. So start with yourself, start with the people that are closest to you, and again, once these two start out well, it all cycles back around, and then you end up falling more in love with yourself. You end up having more confidence and more security and more passion and power, and you feel like you can do anything because you have your own voice and you are using it. So guys, remember that. You have your own voice for a reason. Use it. There is nothing wrong with standing up for yourself. There is nothing wrong with wanting the absolute best for yourself. So that is really what I wanted to convey to you all. I know that this also might have been a hard topic for some of you guys because I know that this is something I've struggled with a lot and I still continue to struggle with. So thank you guys for taking the time to sit and watch and listen and learn and take whatever you could from this. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking in and making sure that you are doing everything you can to become your own biggest fan and be your most authentic, genuine, happiest, best self, because that is all I want, is for you to be absolutely smitten with your life, adore yourself, and just be in love with the life that you live. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys more than anything. I can't even explain it. Thank you for the support. Please go like, comment, subscribe, share this video with friends or family members that might need to hear this message. Have the most amazing day, and I will see you soon on Talent's Perspective.